So for the last couple of years, we've been teaching AI how to talk, but now we're teaching it how to do. It's getting this massive promotion, growing hands and feet so it can actually act in the real world. So let's dive into this huge evolution, Agentic AI.
And this quote right here, it just nails the whole shift perfectly. The measure of a great AI isn't just about how well it can chat or draft an email anymore. Nope. The new gold standard is its agency, its actual power to get a job done.
And this slide really just lays it all out, doesn't it? For years, the big obsession in the AI world was fixing hallucination. That thing where an AI just confidently makes stuff up. We tried to patch it with things like RAG, which is basically like giving the AI a fact checker. But honestly, that was just treating a symptom. The real game changer is this new focus, building an AI that can execute.
So why the big change? What was so wrong with AI's old job description? Well, let's take a look at the performance review that led to this massive promotion and this brand new mission.
Okay, so think of the old large language model, the LLM, as this super articulate information clerk. It could find and summarize pretty much anything, but it couldn't act on any of that information. Our main fix for its mistakes, this technique called RAG, was like giving the clerk a slightly better filing system. Sure, we made it a better talker, but it was still totally stuck behind a desk.
So how does an AI even think differently when it gets this kind of promotion? Well, it's not just some simple software update. We're talking about a completely new cognitive architecture, a fundamentally new way for it to process the world around it.
The old model was, well, pretty simple and one-way street. You give it an input, it makes a prediction, and it gives you an output. That's it. But the new agent model, it's a continuous loop, a lot like how we humans learn. It thinks about a plan, it acts on that plan, it observes the result of its action, and then it refines its thinking for the next try. It's constantly learning and adapting.
And the secret sauce that powers this whole learning loop is a concept from psychology called System 2 thinking. See, old AI was all about fast gut reaction predictions. Agentic AI, on the other hand, uses slow, deliberate, logical reasoning. It literally takes a moment to think through a problem before it makes a move.
One of the most popular frameworks that puts this into practice is called REACT. It's a really simple but incredibly powerful three-step loop. First, the agent reasons and comes up with a plan. Then it acts, and finally it observes the outcome to figure out what to do next. This whole process lets it reflect, self-correct, and get smarter with every single cycle.
So what's actually under the hood here? How does an agent really get stuff done? You can think of it as having 4 core engines, all working in perfect sync to turn a goal into a reality.
First up, you've got the planning engine. If you give an agent a huge goal, like say, build me a website, it doesn't just freak out and dive in. No, it acts like a really good project manager. It breaks that massive task down into a whole series of smaller, actionable steps.
All right, next up is memory. And this is a big one. For an agent to actually learn and get better over time, it has to remember what worked and maybe more importantly, what didn't. But it's not just one type of memory we're talking about. And this distinction is really, really critical. Short-term memory is for what's happening right now, the immediate context. But long-term memory, that's its deep knowledge base. It's often stored in something called a vector database, which you can basically think of as this hyper-efficient library that's organized by concepts, not just keywords. This lets the agent instantly pull up past solutions to similar problems it's faced before. The third engine, tool use, is what gives the agent its hands. This is literally how the AI's brain connects to the rest of the digital world. It can use tools to browse websites, to run code, or to call on APIs, which are kind of like universal remote controls for different software, to actually get things done. And finally, of course, we have action. This is the moment where the agent puts it all together. It takes its plan, its memories, and its tools, and it executes the step. These 4 engines, planning, memory, tool use, and action, are the absolute building blocks of every single task an agent performs.
But here's where things get even more powerful. It turns out the most effective agentic systems don't rely on a single lone wolf AI. No, they build teams. Yeah, the whole trend is moving away from trying to build one giant God model that's supposed to do everything perfectly. Instead, the focus is shifting to creating these multi-agent teams where specialized AIs can collaborate. So you might have one agent that's amazing at planning, another that's a rock star at writing code, and a third that's an expert reviewer and debugger. And here's a perfect example of that team-based approach in action. In an automated code review system, you can see the whole flow. A developer agent writes the first draft of the code. But it doesn't just stop there. It then gets passed to a reviewer agent whose entire job is to poke holes in it and find errors. If it finds anything, it kicks it back for revisions. This collaborative feedback loop just dramatically improves the quality of the final product.
Okay, so if the AI has been promoted from a simple clerk to a whole team of active agents, what does that mean for us, the humans in the loop? Well, guess what? Our job is getting a promotion too. This basically means our job title is evolving. We are officially graduating from prompt engineering. It's not just about crafting that one perfect sentence anymore to get a good result. We are now becoming flow engineers. Our new role is to be the architects of these AI teams. We're the ones designing the entire workflow, telling the agents how to work together. We have to build the controls to make sure they don't get stuck in some kind of infinite loop. And we're creating the frameworks to evaluate how well the team is actually doing its job. We are becoming the directors of an entire AI workforce. Ultimately, this whole shift is about transforming our relationship with technology. AI is evolving from a simple tool that we command into a proactive partner that we collaborate with. So the question is no longer just, what can I ask my AI to do for me? It's now, what can we accomplish together? The real question is, are you ready for that kind of partnership?